Send Help is a 2026 American horror comedy survival film directed and co-produced by Sam Raimi and written by Damian Shannon and Mark Swift. The film depicts an overlooked corporate employee and her arrogant boss whose bitter rivalry intensifies when they experience a plane crash and are the only two survivors stranded on an island. So, Alex, have you ever seen this movie before?
I haven't, but I did want to see it when I saw the trailer and stuff.
Yeah, I did too. I don't know. I just hadn't gotten around to it. And then with the end of summer coming up, I was like, this is a good time to squeeze that in. So what were your thoughts on it?
I liked it. I thought it was fun. Rachel McAdams is so good in this. So, I mean, it really rides on her shoulders, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other character, what's his name? Oh my God, I already forgot.
He's the guy from Maze Runner. I think his name is Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien. Yes, him. He does a good job, don't get me wrong, but like it's really like Rachel McAdams here.
Right.
And she sells the shit out of this movie.
She does. You know, I was thinking about it on paper. Rachel McAdams is obviously so gorgeous, and she has played the love interest in so many of the rom-coms and other movies that I love. So I was surprised by how convincingly frumpy she was playing and being so socially awkward that I cringed. Wow. I don't know. I was not expecting this. You are gorgeous. Like,
not the tuna.
Not the tuna.
I couldn't even watch it. I was like,
on
no.
her face, like, oh.
That was the most horrifying part.
Yes. And then the comment on her shoes. And please.
Leave her shoes alone. They're fine.
Well, and I have the right shoes already.
What's that?
I call these my little mules. Had these girls a long time, a lot of miles on them.
Yeah, but she really sells it. She does a great job because this is the person that played Regina George and like Allie from The Notebook and the love interest in About Time. And yeah, she's beautiful. So I didn't have high hopes that anyone would believe that she would be frumpy.
Stephanie's just gassing up Rachel McAdams this whole episode. She's
so
pretty. She's so pretty. I mean, she is.
Gorgeous.
But I mean, she's a good actress too. Oh my God. I mean, we'll talk about it in the plot, but several times I'm like, I'm afraid of her.
Yeah.
Like, she scares me.
Although I'm betting I am a much nicer boss than you ever would have been. Except for maybe this part.
Well, that was one of my questions. Did you buy her as a Linda, like an overlooked employee persona that she was playing?
Yeah, I bought every moment of this from the beginning to when she like kind of snaps a little bit later. And like, not to jump ahead too much, but the part, don't mistake my kindness for weakness.
Yeah, I was like,
chills. I got chills. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like, don't.
So don't ever mistake my kindness for weakness.
Yeah, there were moments where this character went too far, and we'll talk about it, but we were like, wow.
So, yeah, no, every moment in this movie, I mean, I have some questions about her overall motives or like what she thought in the moment was a little questionable, but overall her performance portraying these moments were.
Yeah, exactly. Not sure how I feel about the character overall. I will say that in general. But yeah, her depiction of her was spot on.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
What did you make of the moment when Linda discovers the waterfall and then she suddenly remembers that she's Rachel McAdams and she's feeling herself? Do you think that's like a turning point in how she saw herself?
Maybe. I think that's when she maybe started realizing like, oh, I could just stay here.
Yeah.
I don't have to go back.
Right. Like, look at my island glow up.
Yeah. I mean, she's thriving the most she's ever thrived on the island as opposed to her home life. So,
yeah, I can see that. I did think that it was weird that she wasn't concerned about getting home to her bird.
Yeah. I'm like, what about your poor bird? That thing is not alive, probably, if it was in a cage. I mean, we find out it is alive. But I mean, how did it survive?
Right. For a month.
Yeah. Take care of your bird, lady.
Yeah. So back to the overall film, do you think the filmmaker struck a good balance between the horror, comedy, and survival elements? Did one genre work better for you than others?
So the answer is no. I don't think it did a good job with horror. I forgot this was considered a horror movie like halfway through. I'm like, this is horror comedy.
Yeah, this is like a dark adventure comedy. Yeah, I would say.
So not to spoil my ratings, but like I didn't see this as a horror really at all.
Yeah, until she killed the fiance, I was like, you couldn't even really argue that this has been horrific.
Yeah. The one moment when she sees the ghost of the fiance or has that vision of the fiance and it like does that one jump scare.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not enough to make this a horror movie.
Right.
So I don't
Yeah.
think the horror worked for me personally.
Mhm.
Not to say it's a bad movie. It's just I didn't get horror.
Yeah. I would say more or less the suspense. It was hard to even decide who to root for after a while because of how far she turned. That I was just wondering, who was going to take out the other first.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like on one hand you understand where she's coming from, but she takes it several steps too far, to be honest. That you're like, well, I can't really like root for you anymore.
Right. On
But
principle.
yeah, I'm like, oh, well, Linda, I was with you at first, but now I'm kind of like, okay, girl, like it's interesting to think about. I don't know if you necessarily like need someone to be rooting for because towards the end, not to jump too far ahead, but it kind of shifts perspectives from her to him when he's in the mansion that you find and stuff.
Yeah,
That now it's like
right.
she's the antagonist.
Right.
Which is interesting. I don't mind that direction. I just don't think at the end I'm like pro Linda.
Right.
I understand
Yeah.
where she's coming from because there's the concept of in the movie your past makes the monster kind of a thing. And that's throughout a little bit. So I could see how she got here. But again, don't condone what she's doing.
Yeah, exactly. I
Bad.
Yeah, no good. No
And no good.
good. So the suspense was weird because of how their dynamic was working out after a while. Because personally, I think I would have preferred if she stayed on the moral high ground of like, I'm such a great survivor. It's obvious that I'm the good guy and I'm the one that you should rely on. And if he just continued being an asshole and she left him at the end or, had to kill him because he went too far, then I'd be like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
good job. Let's move on. Like,
Right. My question to you is, do you think who's worse now at this point? This
right.
shitty boss who's an asshole to his employees or this lady who killed innocent people? It's like, well,
It's really hard to say, honestly, because I had a question, and is she just the villain after all of this is over because of what happened? And then she realized that she could take advantage. But I don't know. Who do we prefer? Like,
yeah, because it's interesting. At one point, he drugs her with the food or whatever, and he tries to swim off on a raft and leave her to die. So, like, in that aspect, he's the same. And it's one of those things like they're the villains of each other's story, you know?
right. And I think location relies a lot on this story, too, because if you put Bradley back in the office and a Linda type person comes back, would Bradley just be the same or would he be changed by this experience? You can argue he might think twice, but what's the chance that he would be stranded on an island again?
He was not going to change. Every moment where they could have just worked together, he betrayed her.
Yeah,
like
that is
from
true.
the raft to at the end when he was going to like stab her. Like at that point, I mean, things are so far gone that I don't necessarily blame him for that one.
Right.
But they were just never going to be on the same page.
Yes. I saw someone guessing the ending on Rotten Tomatoes. They were saying, I suspected that they would just grow old together and eventually he would find out that she was taking food from this mansion.
Oh my God. And, I called that shit when she's like, don't go over there.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's
Excuse
something over
you.
there. Yeah. I'm like, there's definitely, it's not what she says it is.
Right. I knew it wasn't thorn bushes, which is what she told him. But I thought it was just the area where the boats were circling and she just didn't want him to see.
You see that rock that kind of looks like an X?
Yeah.
So that part of the island, it's all thorn bushes and poison vines. 3 steps into that and you'll be scratching your skin off for a week. So you don't want to go that way ever.
Right.
I didn't think there was also a house.
A freaking mansion fully stocked. Eventually it's not going to be, well, let's say eventually it's not going to be stocked, but those people are coming in and stocking it. So maybe they would have.
That's a plot hole to me, honestly, because she was getting all of this great fresh fruit. And Charlie even pointed out that's a plot hole because any place that has fresh water you can drink and lots of fruit that you could eat, it's got to be inhabited. So then when we see the mansion, you're like, oh, I guess so. Because these people are bringing in fresh fruit weekly or something, which doesn't make sense if the owner's never there.
Well, they're just,
Just to feed Linda. Just in case Linda's there.
Yeah. Dropping off food for our girl Linda Little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't think too much of it, but in my mind, eventually, like, it's gonna stop. But I'm like, girl, what do you? And this is where I'm confused because she's like, I was gonna stay here with my new sweetheart. I'm like, did she actually have feelings for him? What was the goal here? Because
Yeah, that was my question as well, because when he poisons her to get on the raft and leave, why wouldn't he just do that while she was sleeping? And would she really care? If she doesn't want to leave, she doesn't have to leave. He could leave.
yeah,
But I think that was part of it for her. She didn't want him to be found.
yeah, but like, why is my point?
Yeah, I don't know if it's more or less the revenge she's taking on him, or if she thinks he'll eventually submit and they'll be together.
Yeah, because in my mind, it's either she does somewhat have weird feelings for him, or she wants to have him suffer, right? She's thriving, but you could suffer, kind of how it was in The Office.
Yeah.
So I was like, what version of Linda are we getting here? Where, I don't know. Do you have a one way or another kind of situation?
I think it's a little confused because she was threatening to castrate him at one point. So I don't know if she loves him. She did talk about before he took over that they met at a Christmas party and he flirted with her, which probably he was just nice or, face level nice. So I guess there's potential that she could have had a crush on him in the beginning. But honestly, with the way he treats her in the office, I would have been like, yeah, clearly that's a no-go.
I guess as a VP, I would need somebody who is more of a people person. Somebody by my side who is well-liked. I just don't think he got it, to be blunt. What I will say, though, you coming in here, I wouldn't have expected that out of you. That took some balls. Oh, yeah.
Someone online was saying, do you think that backstory about her husband was true?
Yeah.
Like, did it actually happen that way, or did she maybe kill him because she was a victim of violence?
Yeah. I guess that's the gray area, too, because she said that she let him have his keys. And I think that's how she's operating in this situation as well, like morally gray most of the time, aside from the fiance stuff. That's obviously bad.
Yeah.
but most of the time she is operating in this whole like, well, what they don't know doesn't hurt them, like telling him about the boat and the potential to escape, and giving her ex-husband that was abusive the car keys is kind of like teaching him a lesson in a way, like when she left him to burn in the sun after he was a jerk about not eating the food she had prepared and not being appreciative of the fact that she had saved his life.
Yeah.
She just left him to burn in the sun.
Yeah. It's like, here's your consequences. But I will say, with the scenario of letting him go out driving intoxicated, that also puts other people at risk. So it's like, yeah, it's teaching him a lesson, but there's these people that are innocent that could be hurt. And that's literally what happens later in the film when she kills the fiance and that guy who was helping her with the boat. So it's like, Linda, like, I want to be rooting for you, but you're making it very difficult.
Right, because you and I have talked about corporate life and sometimes how unfair it can be being in middle management or below and having to deal with the higher ups, the people that are just getting like the 6-figure salaries at the end of the year. And obviously, on paper, you want to support Linda, who knows what she's doing out here, who's been the underdog this whole time, but then she takes this wild turn and you're like, wow, I so wanted to be on your side, but
yeah,
I can't anymore. Now I have to root for this asshole? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, and then it makes it even more complicated because, like, if she truly was a victim of violence, I don't necessarily like how they're framing her as a victim, because now you don't want to root for her in these instances. So it's very weird messaging to me a little bit.
Yeah, it is. I also found the ending strange in that way as well, because she almost has a little Gone Girl moment. She's driving away and we snap months later and she's successful, well liked, she looks different, and she's even a good golfer for some reason.
She learned.
Yeah, learn quick. And it almost seemed like she's having that aha moment, like, I planned everything. And in the final scene where they're fighting in the house, she almost implies that maybe she caused the plane crash, or that she says it was fated that they would be stuck together.
Don't you wonder why? We were the only ones who made it. Maybe it was written in the stars.
On the island. So I don't know if that was just her like absurd crush on him, or it was more or less she made this happen to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, I really don't think she caused the plane crash, considering they flew through a storm. So I don't know how she would have. I don't know how she would have been able to do that.
I guess so.
I just think she kind of loses it a little bit on the island. So I just think at that point, she was just kind of in her head. Okay. I don't think she caused it personally.
Okay. Because I was wondering, is the island who Linda becomes, or was she always like this and, she was just waiting for the opportunity to gain control?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think she had that capacity in her at any moment. She just never unleashed it, kind of a thing. And she was kind of forced to. So
yeah. In the end, do you think Linda actually wins, or has she simply become a more socially acceptable version of the person she was on the island?
She technically won in the sense of she's successful now. In that aspect, she won. She survived.
Yeah, but it kind of makes me wonder, is everyone below her the new Linda? Is she Bradley now?
It could be implied that that's what's happening. We don't really see much. I would hope, despite all the problems I have with Linda, is that she would do better.
Yeah.
But is it not victim of circumstance? Or are you just like perpetuating the cycle?
Right. I am wondering if she was like, if I can come back, could I make a difference? But I don't know if that's necessarily the mindset she's in post-island because of how she acted on the island.
Right. I'm willing to bet, unfortunately, that she fell into the same cycle that Bradley essentially fell into because his father died. He basically just got the company. So she survived the island. She wrote this book and now she's famous. And well, I'm not Linda Little anymore. I'm this new version of her that gets what she always kind of wanted.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, she won, technically.
She technically won. Not in the best of
not morally.
Not morally. No. She did really bad things.
Now, to go back to some of the references, like the Survivor reference, I don't know if the audience knows, but I love Survivor, but how Alex feels about Survivor pales in comparison to what I feel about Survivor.
I am an annoying super fan of Survivor, so
you remember the names. Like I told you several times that once the season's over, I completely forget who these people are.
I'm like, oh yeah, that one tribe from season 9. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you could remember them all. Like you went to school with them, and they were all in your class. Like, did you like the reference that Linda was such a good survivor? Because she likes Survivor?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can make fire 3 different ways, and I know all 3 of them.
I don't know why she was rooting for Keyshawn from 47, but otherwise, I'm like, yeah, Survivor. Keyshawn was fine.
I don't know. Everyone's take surprises me because we text when the Survivor season is going on and we're like, I don't know how you like this person.
You're a dirty casual, Stephanie.
Okay. I'm
just kidding.
Say it like beggars, like Rob Pattinson, right? I was just wondering if you liked it, the shout out, and if they could have included more. I did think it was funny that she included her audition tape. And
yeah. I felt bad. Like, why are you playing her audition tape, making fun of her, and she's right there?
Right. And I was like, if I would have seen this and this would have been her audition tape for the season, I would have thought it was cute, Yeah. Like, she was doing a good job. Like, she's trying to prove
Cast her. Yeah, cast her now. She would have been like not the next, but like a Parvati type situation.
Right. I guess for advertisement for the film, they released her Survivor audition tape. And,
oh my God.
And people that were fans of Rachel McAdams were like, why is she releasing a Survivor audition tape? But then they realized a little while later that it was for this movie.
Okay. Yeah, I really like the reference. It doesn't overstay its welcome. So I think it was the perfect amount. We hear some Jeff Probst talking and, so I appreciate that.
Yes. Funny enough, Jeff Probst was supposed to come on and cameo.
Oh, really?
But he ultimately had to withdraw because they were working on Survivor 50th.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I understand.
But I thought you'd like to know because Survivor.
I appreciate it. Those little fun
Yes.
facts.
Yes. Oh, I had some questions about the CGI. How did you
Oh.
feel about the CGI, particularly with the bugs, the wild boar, the fight scene? Did it add to the movie or take you out of it?
So, Sam Raimi being Sam Raimi, I didn't necessarily like it. I thought the boar was kind of over the top. Well, all of it's pretty over the top with the puking and the
Yeah,
boar,
it
and
was
then the
so cartoonish
eye,
at times. I was like,
which again I expect from Sam Raimi. I wasn't a huge fan of it, to be honest, but didn't take me out too much. What about you?
right. I mean, I haven't seen Evil Dead and the references to Sam Raimi's work. So for me personally coming in, how grounded and serious this was at first, aside from the comedy elements, when we got to the wild boar, it just made it very cartoony. And granted, the snot stuff, when she's attacking the boar and he just keeps on like projectile green snotting at her, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And when they almost popped her eye out of her socket,
Uh,
those were like a little for me, but I wouldn't say it really added much to it
Yeah.
for me.
it's one of those things. It overstays its welcome a little bit, I feel, but that's just, the style. It's not too bad.
No, just wondering. Were there any moments where the movie's absurdity worked better for you because it didn't take itself completely serious?
I mean, overall, tonally, it worked for me. I like campy shit and like comedic stuff, so I was fine with it. I feel like it would have been good either way if they made it more serious or not. It didn't bother me. I had some laugh out loud moments. Like when he was on the raft, he's like, "Fuck you, Linda." And then
Yes! Fuck you, Linda!
his raft just completely gets
Yes.
destroyed. So I liked it. I like that it didn't take itself too seriously.
Right. I did find it funny too. She'd correct him, like she told him, "Oh, this is why your raft failed."
Mhm.
And she was constantly like teaching him and stuff. But then some of the moments where I thought it was absurd were, so you made her out to be this great survivalist, but then she's using the help of the house to get by. So then it almost takes away from the skill that she has.
Yeah, were you really?
Yeah, I mean, obviously she was good at building shelters and stuff for like the first couple days, but and she killed the boar, we saw that. But how often was she able to forage for food and stuff on her own? How much of that came from the house?
Yeah. Fraud.
Yeah.
This liar.
And I just felt like the ending was a little too tongue-in-cheek, just like, oh, I just meant to do all of this and not watch me drive away.
Take it till you make it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the ultimate message here.
Yeah, I guess so. So we're going to rate each element 1 out of 3 to get our overall scary rating. Alex, what did you have for Sentel?
Okay. So I gave plot a 1 out of 3. I gave suspense a 1 out of 3. I gave atmosphere a 0 out of 3. I gave villain a 0. But I did give him extra special point. So it did get a 3. It got a 3.
Yeah, there you go.
What about you?
I gave all of my elements a 1 across the board. So plot a 1, suspense a 1, atmosphere 1, villain 1, and I did give it my extra special point. I like certain aspects, so when you compile it all together, I was like, sure, why not?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, basically. Like the suspense of them killing each other, I had to go low because I wasn't sure who I was supposed to root for. And then obviously the plot kind of got weird with that dynamic as well. And I thought, even though the CGI was cartoony, they were trying something to, make it seem as dangerous as possible with the wild boar, especially, and the attempt with the ghost of the fiance. But again, villain got confusing too, because who's the villain really?
Whomst? I don't know.
Yes.
It's just
Is it the island?
I mean, he could, always go general sense of danger, but they were fine. They were doing all right. Like
they were at civilization. They were just on the wrong side.
Yeah, like you're okay. I don't know. It's just like I said earlier in the episode, I didn't find it particularly scary at all. To the point where, like, should this have been a horror?
Yeah.
I don't think so, personally, but it was good.
And I'll leave you with this question too. Do you
Okay.
think if this was anywhere else that Linda would have done the same thing to try to take control, or was it simply the island gave her this power, basically?
Well, I would say they'd have to be isolated somewhere. So whether it's an island or God knows where, that maybe not necessarily the island, but like the fact that they were stranded together is what.
Yeah.
So
she needed them to be together somehow.
Yeah. I mean,
to take control.
She's thriving here. So
yeah.
I mean, maybe specifically an island. Okay, I will say this. Maybe it does have to be the island only because of the whole survivor element.
Yeah.
If it were like the Arctic, like they flew over like a mountain, would it have been as successful? Maybe not as much, but
yeah. Because I was wondering, like, if they had just been stuck in the water, sort of like a Life of Pi situation, just stranded on a piece of the plane or something, maybe would there have been a more equal footing?
Maybe, yeah. There's really no supplies or anything, so they've been worse for wear for sure.
Right.
She might have been better off than Bradley, though. This wet noodle of a man, like
right, man. He couldn't even try half the time. I was like, why aren't you trying to get up?
I love the audacity. He's getting mad at her. Like, why aren't you saving me? Why aren't you giving me food? Why did you leave me?
And then she feeds him fish, and he's like, no, I don't like the fish.
Bradley. We barely talked about Bradley because you don't need to. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
He just sucks. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel to be notified when we post new episodes. And if you're listening to this as an audio podcast, we appreciate you. However you enjoy the show.
You can find us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.